In a peaceful countryside home in England, an older man named Victor Maynard wakes up early in the morning. He follows the same routine every day. He drinks his tea, polishes his shoes, and gets ready for work. Victor is a 55-year-old man who lives alone and looks very calm and proper. But Victor has a big secret. He is actually one of London's most expensive professional agents who handles dangerous jobs for rich clients. His family has been doing this same work for generations, and Victor is very proud of his family tradition. Victor's only weakness is his strong-willed mother, Louisa. She is an old woman who lives in a fancy retirement home and constantly worries about her son. She wants Victor to find a wife and have children, so the family business can continue to the next generation. Every time Victor visits her, she pressures him about getting married. Victor is a shy and uptight man who has no love life at all, so this topic always makes him uncomfortable. The story now shifts to a young woman named Rose. Rose is a beautiful, charming, and clever thief. She makes her living by selling fake paintings as if they were real. Her latest plan is her biggest one yet. She has tricked a powerful and wealthy gangster named Ferguson into buying a fake Rembrandt painting for £900,000. Ferguson thinks the painting is real, and Rose collects the huge amount of money before quietly disappearing. Soon after Ferguson finds out that the painting is fake, he becomes furious. As a powerful gangster, he is not the kind of man who lets anyone trick him. He decides to teach Rose a lesson. Ferguson contacts Victor Maynard, the most famous professional agent in London, and hires him to handle Rose for a large amount of money. Victor accepts the job without asking any questions. For him, this is just another routine assignment. Victor begins to study Rose. He follows her around London and watches her daily routine. He sees her stealing small items from shops, charming strangers, and living a carefree life. Victor plans his approach carefully. He decides that the perfect place to do his job is a busy department store. He follows Rose into the store, prepares his tools, and gets ready to do what he came for. But something strange happens to Victor. As he watches Rose moving through the store, picking items, smiling, and humming a song to herself, he feels something he has never felt before. A small flutter in his heart. He hesitates. The moment passes, and he loses his chance. Victor goes home confused. This has never happened to him in his entire career. Meanwhile, Ferguson is angry that the job is taking too long. He decides to hire a second agent for backup. He calls another professional named Hector Dixon. Hector is younger, more aggressive, and more ruthless than Victor. Hector is also Victor's professional rival who has always wanted to prove that he is better than the famous Victor Maynard. Now both Victor and Hector are following Rose at the same time, but they don't know about each other. Rose returns to the same department store the next day. Victor follows her again, hoping to finish the job this time. But before he can, Hector suddenly appears with a weapon and tries to handle Rose himself. Victor is shocked and angry. He cannot believe that Ferguson has hired a second agent behind his back. In a split-second decision, Victor does something that surprises even himself. Instead of letting Hector do the job, he steps in and protects Rose. He knocks Hector out and grabs Rose's hand. They run out of the store together, with Rose completely confused about what just happened. She thinks Victor is just a kind stranger who saved her life. Victor doesn't tell her the truth. In the chaos of running away, a young man named Tony accidentally gets involved. Tony is a simple, awkward boy in his early 20s who is just standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. He gets caught up in the moment and ends up helping Victor and Rose escape. Now all three of them are running together and Tony has no idea what is going on. Victor takes Rose and Tony to his countryside home to keep them safe. Once they arrive, Rose starts asking questions. Victor doesn't know what to say, so he tells a simple lie. He tells Rose and Tony that he is a private detective who was hired to protect Rose from danger. Rose believes him completely. Tony is thrilled because he has always wanted to do exciting work, so he asks Victor to teach him to become a private detective too. Victor reluctantly agrees because he doesn't know how to explain the truth. Now the three of them are living together in Victor's countryside home. Rose makes herself comfortable and starts changing things around the house. She is a free-spirited woman who treats everything like an adventure. Tony tags along like an excited apprentice, asking Victor question after question about how to be a detective. Victor, who has lived alone for 50 years, is suddenly surrounded by chaos. But strangely, he starts to enjoy it. Slowly, Victor finds himself growing closer to Rose. He watches the way she laughs, the way she dances around the kitchen, and the way she steals little things just for fun. He realizes he has fallen in love with her, even though he is much older. Rose, in her own carefree way, also starts to feel a connection with Victor. There is a sweet and awkward chemistry between them. Tony also notices the change in Victor. The cold, quiet man is becoming warmer and more human. Tony starts to feel like he has found a strange new family. He looks up to Victor as a father figure, even though Victor still has not told him the truth about who he really is. Meanwhile, Ferguson is very angry. He has heard that Victor failed the job and disappeared with the target. He sends Hector and a team of other agents after them. Hector is determined to find Victor and prove that he is the better professional. He starts searching the countryside for clues. Victor decides to take Rose and Tony to a quiet hotel where no one will find them. They drive far away and check in under fake names. At the hotel, Victor's mother Louisa unexpectedly arrives. She has been wondering where her son is and somehow tracked him down. When Louisa meets Rose, she immediately approves. She is so happy that her son finally has a woman in his life. She doesn't know that Rose is actually a target Victor was supposed to handle. Louisa pulls Victor aside and gives him strong advice to marry Rose right away. Victor is more confused than ever. He has fallen in love with the woman he was hired to handle. He has gained a young apprentice who thinks he is a detective, and now his mother is pushing him toward marriage. His clean, organized life has turned into total chaos. The peace doesn't last long. Hector tracks them to the hotel and arrives with his team. A big chase begins. Victor, Rose, and Tony grab their things and run for their lives. They jump into Victor's car and speed away through the countryside roads. Hector and his men follow them in their own cars. The chase goes through narrow streets, fields, and forests. There are several close moments where they almost get caught. During the chase, Tony finally learns the truth about Victor. He realizes that his detective mentor is actually a professional agent. Tony is shocked at first, but then becomes even more impressed. He decides that being a professional agent is even cooler than being a detective. Rose also slowly figures out the truth. She becomes upset and angry with Victor for lying to her, but at the same time she has already started to care for him. She forgives him because she understands that he saved her life when he could have done the opposite. The three of them decide they need to handle this problem once and for all. Victor knows that as long as Ferguson is alive and free, Rose will never be safe. He comes up with a clever plan. They will go to Ferguson directly and end this game. Victor, Rose, and Tony return to London. They prepare carefully for the final showdown. Victor uses all his years of experience and skill. Rose uses her cleverness and charm. Tony, even though he is new to all this, surprises everyone by being more useful than they expected. The final scene takes place at Ferguson's huge, fancy mansion. Ferguson is hosting a meeting with his men, feeling powerful and untouchable. Suddenly, Victor and his team arrive. Hector is also there, ready to fight Victor one last time. A tense and exciting battle takes place in the mansion. There is gunfire, chasing through hallways, and clever tricks. Victor handles Hector with his superior skills. Then he confronts Ferguson directly. Ferguson tries to escape, but Victor and Rose work together as a team to corner him. In the end, Ferguson is defeated, and his power is broken. Rose is finally safe. After everything is over, the three of them return to a quiet life. Tony decides to continue being Victor's apprentice and learn the family business. Rose and Victor's relationship grows into a real romance. The unlikely older man and the young thief have somehow found love in the middle of all this craziness. In the final scene, we see Victor at his mother's retirement home. He brings Rose to officially meet Louisa as his partner. Louisa is overjoyed. She gives Rose her blessing and is happy that the family business will continue with Tony as the new generation. Victor, Rose, and Tony stand together, smiling like a real family. The movie ends on a warm, funny note as Victor goes back to his quiet countryside home, but now his life is no longer lonely. He has a partner who loves him, an apprentice who looks up to him, and a future he never imagined for himself. The peaceful sound of birds and the smell of tea fill the air, but now there is laughter inside the house instead of silence. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.